Right, so here we are. It's actually roof day today. We've come to get cracking. I've got an eager battalion of men below me, keen to receive orders. So I've done a little bit of setting out. Can't go into too much detail because we're in a hurry. We really need to crack on. So I'm just going to set a camera up. We'll get a few of these trusses in. I'll get a few stood up and then hopefully drop in and try and explain what I'm up to. So let's get cracking. Am I in it? Like, you can get my head and everything, can you? Right, don't feel far away.
Go.
Right, it's exciting. Wait. Right, it's an exciting day today. I've got a new nail gun. So if you want to find out more about this nail gun, check out a video I've done here. Very exciting new nail gun day. Right, let's crack on. Right, so just a quick update really. We've got a lot of the trusses up, didn't film too much of it because we'll have a mad sort of morning. Got some of these trusses in and the main trusses are on the other side of the scaffold over there. We have hit a bit of a problem. There's quite a lot to think about on this roof. Although it's mostly trusses, it's actually got 8 hips on this top part. So I can't show you the drawing because they don't send drawings out anymore because it's all on your phone, so that's just a bit of a hassle. But basically what we've got, if you see, we've got that end. There's a hip end along that end, and then basically it transfers and there's a hip end along this end. So I can't get high enough up to show you, but basically this all the way down here is a big long run of trusses with a hip on each end. That end obviously the trusses are sat on the plate. This end, the trusses have got to have the feet cut off and sit on this girder. So there's a girder here, and if you can see, what I've had to do is pull a line down and check the measurements from the plate on that end. So we've got the same measurement from the plate across the end of the roof from there to there. We've got to have the same measurement from here up to, where is it? Here. So in effect, if you imagine this plate running all the way through here to this corner, this would be the hip line. So, but instead of the trusses sitting on a plate, they're sitting on a girder like that with the feet cut off. So that triple girder's in, and we've got a flat top triple girder here because there's hips coming up off this corner as well. The issue that we've got is, obviously there's lots to do to set this out to get it all in the right place. I don't know if you can just see, I might be able to zoom in, let's go for zoom. You can see that pencil mark I put there with those 3 ticks, that's where there's another double girder goes across here. So there's a triple girder here which takes a double girder which goes all the way across there into another triple girder there. The issue that we've got is that in the design, the designer has missed off on the drawing. They haven't applied the metalwork, the double hanger. Consequently, we haven't got it, so we've had to sort of stop work. But when they have gone back to the drawing, when I've told them that it's missing, when they have gone back to the drawing, they found that the bottom, that's got a 146 bottom cord on, this triple has, but this triple here, this girder, has only got a 125 bottom cord. So what they found out, when they applied the truss hanger, the shoe, onto that girder, they basically, the computer says it doesn't work. So that bottom cord isn't wide enough to take the nail detail of the hanger, if that makes sense. I know this probably might sound like gobbledygook. So we've got to get back, the truss designer is going to get back to see what we need to do to that bottom cord of there so that it can take the hanger properly. Plus, they've got to find out if they've got the hangers in stock and can send them out. So that's why we just threw this little bit in here. So we are a bit stuffed because although a lot of these trusses can go on here, we really do need to set it out from this end because we've got to put that double in and then all these mono. So it sounds a bit complex. There is a lot to think about. And unfortunately, I had it all in my mind how I was going to do it today. And then you get a problem like this and, you know, we've had to sort of go to a bit of a plan B. But anyway, you know, I'm not moaning. It's all good fun and I'm quite enjoying it. It's when there's a bit more than just normal gable and to gable trusses, it gets the juices flowing and, you know, I find it quite interesting. There's lots of hips to do here as well. So I'm going to have a sandwich now and probably do a bit more time lapse and then maybe jump in a bit later with a few more explanations. Right, so finally we had to go. They've redesigned the connection point that I talked about earlier for that triple, and they've sent out these big hangers here, so we had to go and get those. A bit irritating if I'm honest. We've got some sort of, what are they, funky screws there, so at least we can crack on now. The guys we marked out, they're going to start nailing those on. I've set out the rest of this hip. Oh, hang on, am I going to zoom in there? Yeah. I've set out the rest of this hip, this end. I'm just about to mark some bracing up because obviously these trusses got to be braced together, and then we can start putting them in, dropping them into this triple here, get that triple all gang nailed up over there, and then we can start standing in there as well. So let's go. Right, so you saw us there. We got those trusses up. It was a bit of a struggle actually. Seemed like hard work. It was all a bit at 6 and 7s. But anyway, we've got them in, and you won't have seen it in the time lapse, but it was really struggling to get a nice roof line to get these to line through. It looks absolutely horrific. It's like some of the trusses were higher than the others. And of course, as usual, when you have a bit of a problem, you start to think, well, have I done something wrong? But basically, we've got to the bottom of the issue and the fact is that the trusses haven't been manufactured properly, and I'm going to quickly show you what I'm talking about. So if we have a look at these trusses here, you'll see that we've got 10 trusses, but we've got 6 of one type and 4 of another. So the 6 of one type are these flat tops. You can see that we've got 3 each end with these flat top elements in. So we've got 1, 2, 3. There's a double on the end there which takes the monos that come across, and then a single. They've got the flying rafters in the top which get cut around the hip, and then we've got basically the same on the other side. We've got a double and then a single. So that's those 6 trusses, and then we've got these 4 trusses in the middle. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just a standard truss, and obviously as you can see they haven't got that flat element in. Now the trusses should all be exactly the same. Now the problem we were finding is, as we were lining them through, and what I've done is I've tacked up this bit of 4x1 on the top here just to highlight. As we were lining them through, I don't know if you can see there, look, you can see that those first 2 trusses are in one plane, and then when we've put these other 4 in, they're lower. And basically what's happened is we've checked the drawing, and the top chords of these trusses on these 6, which was the double and the single, same each end, on the top chord is a 97mm timber, and that's what it says on the drawing. But then when we come to these other 4 normal trusses, they've only used an 85mm timber. So consequently, as you can see, if I have a look down there, consequently you can see, look, and if you can see that we've got a fairly decent line here, because this has obviously got the wider rafter timber on, and it touches nicely there. But then obviously as we go further down, look, they're low. As you can see, these 4, same the other side, are all low, and as we get back up the other end there again, look, they're in a nice line. So the issue we've got, we can't really just crack on, and the next job, we've done the hard work here, which is lugging them all up. The next job would be to fit all the bracing, which is all marked out here, and get them so that they're solid and we can leave them for the day. But obviously we don't want to do that, because we have to get in contact with the truss manufacturer, and unfortunately it's lunchtime at the minute, to basically find out if these 4 middle trusses are still going to work structurally with an 85mm rafter cord instead of a 97mm rafter cord, which is what it shows on the plan. So unfortunately, a little bit of a fail there from the truss manufacturer. Not only did they not put the correct shoes on, hang on, I'll zoom in that, am I? Yeah. Not only did they not put the correct shoes into the drawing, which caused a delay there, but also this additional problem of, I assume when they're laying them up on the jig, maybe when they're putting them together, they haven't paid attention and put the right rafter cord on. And this is one of the problems we have, is that we've got 4 of us here trying to get a roof on, and all of a sudden someone's made a couple of little mistakes in the design department somewhere or on a factory floor, and all of a sudden here we are stood for half a day. You know, somebody's got to pay it. So very frustrating, and even more frustrating in this modern day of communication that we can't actually get hold of anybody to find out whether we can carry on or whether we've got to stop. It may even be that these trusses have got to be replaced, but fingers crossed they'll be able to come up with something that satisfies the structural engineers. So frustrating, and we're waiting. So what usually happens when you hit a problem and you have to wait for an answer for something, what you think is, let's drop onto something else, and we've got to the point here where we really can't do anything other than start to lift up some of the timber that's been in a pile down here. So there it all is, and here's a bit more we've shoved up. Now I'll show you, have a little look at the plan. Like I said here, this whole job has got, I don't know if you can see that, I can't see if it's reflecting in there. This whole job has got 12 hips, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's the lower roof here, and that's a garage roof. So there's 12 hips, and it clearly says here, look, here's the loose fill timber, that we've got a 35 or 147 hip board, that'll be for this roof, and then we've on the lower roof, look, it says 35 or 147 hip board for the lower roofs as well. So like, as I said, we've got 12 hips there. This one down here is probably at least sort of 6 metres, these ones are. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 at least 6 metres. And these ones will probably be maybe 4, 4.5 metres, maybe 5 metres. So again, I showed you some of the timber, but I'll show you the hip board material that we've been sent. Someone just taken off the board here completely. That's it. These 4 lengths are 147 by 35, and they are 4.5 metres long. That's all they've sent. I mean, for a job that's got 12 hips, and they've only sent out 4, and they are absolutely, I don't know if I can maybe show you. I don't know if you can see that there. The quality of them is revolting. I'm not they say a bad workman blames his tools, but so kind of had the optimism beaten out of me today, to be honest. Really looking forward to this. I'd kind of absorbed the the plans and thought I could get my head around it, and then it's just one stop after another. So we're waiting to hear back about the timber and the truss design, whether it's going to work with that smaller rafter cord. So just getting a bit fed up now. So now, while I'm waiting in a sort of no man's land for engineers and designers to get back to about what we can do with this roof, whether we can carry on, I thought, what can I do? And we got quite a few doubles and bits and bobs. So I thought what I'll actually do is start nailing them together. And I'm pleased to say that the old nail gun didn't let me down. It's an absolute beauty. I'm not going to go on too much about it, but first day using it, it's lovely. It's got some really, really nice features. It's working really, really well at the minute, which you'd expect because it is day one. But I'll continue using it, and I've got a few thousand nails through it. I'll probably do a bit of a an update video and let you know if it's all as good as it looks at first glance. And using it for this first day, it's absolutely fantastic. But you have to get a few hours using a tool to find out if there's any bits and bobs that you think could be improved on or niggles. But so far, yeah, really, really happy. Right, well, it's not like me to normally concede to defeat, but I'm sick and tired of waiting now. We ran into problems with this roof this morning at 9 o'clock. I got here, had to put it off for maybe a week because I was away. Got here thinking really revved up to go, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a really nice, interesting roof. And to be honest, it's been one problem after another. But a problem with the hangers got missed off the drawing, and then when we reminded the designers to put them on the drawing, they had to test them from an engineering standpoint. Then we had to drive to the, fortunately not too far away, had to drive to pick them up because there's 4 of us here with our thumbs in our backsides not doing anything. And then the next problem we get is the rafter cord on the 4 middle common trusses has been made of a different material. So I've got in contact with the designer again, and he's gone to his engineer, and they've asked me to take additional pictures of the nail plates. But there's no urgency. I don't know how their world works, but in our world, when you're up here on the coalface, you can't just be stood around. The other guy's gone. I thought, well, we'll get some of the loose timber up, and that's not right. So turns out half of that's missing, and you've got 4 6-metre hips on this job, and they've only sent 4 bits of 4.5-metre hip material. So, even if we got rolling on this, I can't start any hips tomorrow. And how long is it going to be before they sort that out? And I know I sound all negative, but just irritating now. And I like to crack on, and it's just a waste of time this day's been. So gonna bung some more temporary bracing on here on the top, just so we can leave it overnight and then just see what falls out the sky in the morning. I mean, it's just, I want to crack on. You book a job in, and never mind about the fact whether you're looking forward to it or not, you book a job in, you've got a certain amount of time, and when these kind of delays, which are not your fault at all, and then people who've made the mistakes don't really feel like they're working really hard to rectify them, it's really, really frustrating. But anyway, that's it. I'll see you back on this job, and hopefully, we'll be able to get these things sorted out and start cracking on, because it's going to be a cracker. I'm really looking forward to it. But anyway, there we go. It does happen, and there's a lot of worse things happening in the world, I suppose.